Chapter 20, Integration. In this, the last section of the FIS, the writer has a place where he or she can write about what has happened as a result of working through his or her ACA issues. This section is where renewal and integration are recorded. Here, the ACA writes about not only the issues dealt with in the FIS, but also about what is being worked on in therapy and during ACA's groups. Integration is the healing process, and here is where the ACA records how this healing process is happening in his or her life. It is important for the ACA to record progress, to record the triumphs and insights that are a testament to the recovery process. When unhealthy patterns in relationships are recognized and released, here is where that realization is recorded. When forgiveness replaces anger and hurt, here is where the transformation is recorded. When an ACA demands direct communication from a family who previously communicated by silence and innuendo, here is where that triumph is recorded. Here, in the integration section, is where the ACA records the progress and the aha experience that releases him or her from the chains that bind him or her to the past. It is in the integration section that the ACA can record the emotional realization, which generally happens long after the intellectual realization, that alcoholism is a dis-ease and that he or she was powerless over what happened as a child. Here the ACA can come to terms with old ideas about God and form a relationship with God that can be fruitful and loving. The integration section is an open-ended section. Like the rest of the system, this section can be used whenever the ACA wishes. There is no real structure to this section, and the writer is encouraged to allow this section to develop and grow without structure. The only structure I have found useful in this section is to date each integration entry. I also know of some ACAs who do not even date these entries. It is up to you, the writer, to develop this section in whatever way you see fit. Most of the other sections in the FIS are structured, and the structure is important. Without it, many ACAs would not be able to use a writing system effectively. In this section, however, structure is cast away so the ACA can freely record the unfolding of a healthier way of life. The following are some integration entries that have been made by ACAs. I feel so good to stand up to my family and say that I am an adult, and I demand that I be treated as an adult. It feels so good at last to do this. I now have a real relationship with my sister. We really talk about how we feel about things now, rather than just talking around in circles. I really forgive my father. What he did to me was wrong. I know that I was blameless, and I now have let go of the anger and the fear. I'm not sure that I love him, but I do forgive him. I can now talk to my wife and kids about how I feel and what is going on with us as a family. I never could do that before, either in this, my present family, or in my family of origin. There is a movement, a motion in my life that is coming to completion. It is putting away the old ways of living and stepping out into the world with the confidence and experience of having lived and learned. This confidence stems from much more than just the past experiences of my life. It is knowing that the events of my life and I are one with each other, and that through this I have learned to love myself. Now it is time for me to love the universe. Just as it was necessary to love those things about me that I perceived as imperfect, I now am learning to love all of the world, even those parts that I see as imperfect. There are no imperfect parts of me or of the world. All there are different parts in different stages of development. Everything is right on time, right on schedule. Being free and joyful in this continuing process of unfolding is most important. The issues that are at hand in myself and the world are very important, too important to take seriously. A sense of humor is a must. I will laugh deeply and loudly. I will share and love. I am free.